Opening up every house, they'll show at the end. Because, you know, they're the ministers up there doing a fine job. And you see whatever. I'm not I'm being a hypocrite. No. Held on. He's got a speed read.
We keep getting committees. We keep getting more committees. I'm going to need a bigger board. My board isn't. Holy cow.
Sandy Kershaw, he's saying, third rate role.
Hi, ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon. Welcome to the February 17th. I guess I'll move away. February 17th board meeting at 2 p.m. This is an owner's meeting only. You have to say that every time. So I don't believe we have any renters, but you have 5 seconds to get out. All right, we're covered. Okay, we are going to start with the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, we'll start with the roll call. I am Don Tucker, I am the president, and I am here.
Sherry Boggs, Vice President, here.
Paula Wilcox, treasurer, here. Joyce Weaver, secretary, here.
George Krummenacker, member at large, here.
Okay, proof of notice. The proof of notice affidavit was posted for February 17th at 2 p.m. at the clubhouse and the office, the two locations on the condominium property on February 15th, 2022, signed by Joyce Weaver, the board secretary, and notarized by Tammy Gardner, the notary in the office. Move on to the approval of the January 26th, 2022 meeting minutes.
Okay, the meeting was called to order and a pledge led by Donald Tucker at 1 p.m. The roll call, President Don Tucker, Vice President Sherry Boggs, Treasurer Paula Wilcox, Secretary Joyce Weaver, and Member at Large George Krummenacker. Sorry. Okay, the proof of notice was read by Don Tucker, asked for a motion, and Sherry D. made the motion, and Paula second, all approved. Approval of the December 17th, 2021 meeting minutes. Sherry read them, Don Tucker asked for a motion, Paula made the motion, and Sherry seconded, and it was all approved. Treasurer's report, Paula read the December expenditures, Sherry went ahead and made the motion, and Joyce Weaver seconded, all approved. New business was the hearing committee. It was reported Sherry was the one who announced the new hearing committee. The chair is Lynn McMurray. The vice chair is Joyce Nadeau. The secretary is Janet Volker, but she broke her hand, so the alternative, Dennis Massey, is stepping up. Alternates is Sonia, Janet Troyer, Debbie Delcamp. The chair, Lynn Murray, came up and read the minutes of the meeting from the 9/18/2021 meeting. Andy and Janet Troyer opened the meeting. Meeting was to appoint the members and go over the procedures. Sherry made a motion to approve, and Paula seconded, all approved. Social committee, Paula went ahead and announced that the previous committee had resigned and that the new committee was formed. All the volunteers are welcome to help. Paul announced the new members. On 1/23/22 at 9 o'clock in the morning, a meeting was held, and the members are as follows. The chair, co-chair is Karen Murray and Alice Hoxma. The treasurer is Deidre Mattingly. The secretary is Eileen Gettert. The alternative is Dennis Massey. The board liaison is Joyce Weaver. The Acorn newspaper is Ian and Terry Rumbles. The events coordinator is Pam Tucker. The library aide is Patricia Toma. Paula made a motion to approve, and George seconded, all approved. Violations, there was 14 total, all read by Don and voted on by the members. It was weeds, skirtings, tie downs, and smaller issues in violation. The first letters was sent out to each violator by the park manager, L.W. Smith, and 2 out of the 14 were tabled for further discussion. Configuration of the clubhouse room, Paula spoke on her idea and asked the members for their opinion. Rotating the rooms around would suffice for the room issue that we are facing. Moving the gym over the library and the library over the gym. Don made the motion and Sherry seconded, and it was all approved. Building guidelines, Paula and Sherry spoke about what the existing language reads in the site modifications. Number 3 on the site modification says all permanent installations except for the carport must maintain a minimum of 12 feet from the construction to the road. The county code, reads all setbacks for ancient oaks. RV resort is 5 to 5 to 5 from the road. So that's the new guidelines. Don made the motion to change the existing language. Paula made the motion. And George seconded, all approved. The budget committee, Paula announced that the budget committee needs to be set. Volunteers are welcome and needed. Please see Paula after the meeting at the back of the clubhouse. The suggestion box, Joyce Weaver read the suggestions. There were only 3 this time. The one suggestion was we need to get an AED in the clubhouse. Response will be forwarded to LW investigated. This has been suggested before. We need to check into a training class as well and check the Good Samaritan rule for Florida. So another suggestion was all wooden handrails need to be replaced at the marina. A few residents have fallen already. Response, maintenance leader resident suggested that we replace them with aluminum. He would check into the cost differences. Suggestion was a street light on 66th Avenue. Please get turned back on. Chris said we are working on getting it taken care of. Many have asked to have it turned off because it's too bright. Due to security issues, it is needed to be on, so we are working on getting something worked out to satisfy everyone. The manager's report was reported by LW, but it was read by Don. So it was I would like to thank all the volunteers for all their help and time. We are continuing to make improvements to all areas of the park and of course, keep up the repairs of the infrastructure. Just bought a small cement mixer to use to repair small areas that are costly to contract out. Finally received a title on the motorhome in the back of by the compactor, and it will be gone shortly. Finally, I was able to get the neighbors to fix their fence so that the cattle will stay off the bank and keep from tearing it up. Remember, the whole world is dealing with the repercussions of COVID-19 and its ever-evolving variants. Please remain patient, understanding, and continue to do your part to keep the virus from spreading. Thanks. And then Don asked for a motion to adjourn. Paula made the motion and Sherry seconded. All approved. Meeting was adjourned at 2:47 p.m. Any discussion? Any changes?
Just some, I think we need to do some typo changes, but other than that, it's fine.
Okay.
I motion to approve the meeting minutes as written with minor typos.
I second the motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, we'll move on to the treasurer's report.
Okay, the Treasury Report for January 31st, 2022. Our reconciled balance in the operating is $380,000, approximately. We had $500 cash on hand, which brought us to $385,000. Accounts receivable, $78,450, which brought us to a total of $458,986. In the reserves, our money market and CDs, we have $805,161. Social account, including bingo and pickleball and all other small groups, $33,775. Our January expenses were approximately $6,000 over budget. That's due to unexpected major expenses in the month, and the reserves always gets moved over first month of the quarter. So we're still $60,440 under budget for the year, and that will even out in this month and March to continue on that streak. So we're gonna see another year of ending under budget.
All right, we'll move on to new business. The first item is weekend work by contractors and paid persons. It is against the Ancient Oaks rules to have contractors and or paid persons performing work on the property on Saturday, Sunday, and holidays. There is no exception to this. This cannot be sent to the board if LW says no.
Point of order, you need to accept the treasurer's report. We did?
All right, well, I guess we need to accept the treasurer's report. All in favor of accepting the treasurer's report?
Aye.
Okay, it's been accepted. Thank you, LW. Anyway. The only exception to the rule, that you cannot send it to the board for the board to say, yeah, we'll let you do it this one time. The only exception to the rule is if your air conditioner blows up or your toilet explodes, and it's a service that is an emergency, okay? Normal stuff is not allowed on the weekends, and that's to give the residents a break from all the noise and craziness of having contractors and paid persons all over the place. That includes the housekeepers. Anybody that's paid falls under this rule. So please try to follow the rules. We all try to. I know some of these rules seem a little crazy, they're old, but those are the rules that we have, and those are the rules we have to play by.
Did we not make an exception for the crews here? Your employees?
Yes, I apologize.
Current.
Our current employees can work on Saturday. So if you want to hire, we'll say Francisco, come on a Saturday to pressure wash your house, that is allowed. That was changed in the rules. The new rules will be posted on the website here shortly. Did I miss anything? Okay. Second thing is, I was thinking about the marina, and I know that there's a lot of tight spaces in there. I don't know how many of you are boaters or have boats. Maybe you can tell a couple of your friends in the park. What I'm looking for is I didn't call it a committee, I called it a commission. Looking for some smart, maybe engineer type people, a couple, to get together to come up with some suggestions on how to improve the parking in the marina.
We're talking about boats.
It's boats, not
In the
cars,
water.
in the water. It seems like we have more pontoon boats than the smaller bass boats. So the way the marina is set up, it's not very user friendly. We have 43 available slips in the marina, of which 13 are not rented. So 30 are rented. So I'm looking for some ideas of how we can open it up to make it a little more easier for pontoon boats to park. Ultimately, I don't want to lose any spots, but if we lose a spot or two, but it makes it that much more easier for people. I mean, we already have 13 that aren't being rented, so if we lose 3 spots, what's the big deal? I think that it's also going to entail getting a hold of South Florida Water Management to see exactly how far out we can go into the canal. Obviously, we can't block the whole canal, so we would probably have to get their guidance as far as how far we can go out. But I think that if we get a couple of people together and maybe draw up some plans, we have some money in the reserves, we can make some changes. We have some of the things that we can use, some of the docks and stuff, we can use them for the time being until we can build up some more money to eventually replace them. I definitely want to see the 2 ramps that are made out of wood right now, at the least, be turned into aluminum ramps for safety and for longevity, because those things will last forever. They don't rot, they don't rust, they're awesome. So I just, I want to try to make this a better marina for the owners. So if you're interested, you can get with me or LW, and maybe at the next meeting we can have some more discussion about this, or we can have a discussion on the side at some time, and we can come up with something to make this better.
Don, are we going to set a time limit on this, or for them to do?
The investigation?
Well, I would like to ultimately have it, something by the early fall, so that if any work, maybe even sooner, because with the season ending and a lot of people going home and probably pulling their boats out of the marina and putting them in storage, it opens that much up. So if we do decide to pull out a dock, to open it up, to make more slips this way, that way, to make it better, then we have the summer to do that, so that when everyone comes back, the work's already completed.
Plus permitting.
Plus permitting and stuff, yeah, too. So, I don't know how long this is gonna take, but, sooner is better, so that next season, people come back and go, oh, wow, man, this marina is awesome. I can't wait to put my boat in my slip, because now I don't have to have 3 people help me get in this narrow little place. I can do it all by myself. Yes, I have a question on the left here.
I don't have a vote. I guess I'm just curious, are we in compliance now with South Florida Water Management as far as the length of our docks and allowing people to park at the end of the docks like they do? And maybe we are, I'm just curious.
I would imagine we are, because I have the diagram here that has those,
Okay.
like I had kind of envisioned maybe turning those couple of those long ways.
Yeah.
So instead of there being 2 spots at the end, maybe we could have 3 or 4.
Yeah.
And I was talking to Chris about it, and he was actually the one who brought it up that, well, you should get with South Florida, because I'm sure they have a guideline of how far you can be sticking out.
Yeah,
So that's why this commission would be tasked with also contacting South Florida to say, hey, how far can we go out?
Yeah.
So that we're not blocking the canal and we can maximize our space, but make it more user-friendly, more, more kind of pull-in spots, versus having, like I said, 3 people with long ropes, pulling you into some of these little spots.
Yeah.
And to me, that kind of would balance out I've been here for 20 years and I still have this crappy little spot in the corner that I can't really use because my boat's too big. Why does this person get a primo spot or that person get it? It makes it a little more equitable
I
for
was just curious.
everybody. I would imagine that this has been approved by South Florida.
May I make a
Sure, go ahead. We'll take this gentleman's question while we're waiting for LW. Go ahead, sir.
on, excuse me.
Okay. Don wasn't here. Back 4 or 5 years ago, people wanted electricity on the docks. That required a permit. We filed a permit with South Florida Water Management. They came in, surveyed, and told us our docks were 6 feet too far out, and we had to cut them back to comply with their navigational. So we will not be able to extend them further out. Now, anything else that we can do within our space, we can, but.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Over here.
My question was, any of the canal owners that have boats, are they renting any of the 30 docks?
I would have to check with the office on that one. I don't have the names and addresses and stuff. I would probably say no, but I don't know, sure.
I just figured if somebody owned property on the canal and had a dock, but we're renting up here, it takes away the potential of rental spaces for.
We can scrub the list. Yeah, we can do that. I'll write this down here.
Do we want to ask for volunteers now or wait?
Yeah, I mean, if anybody wants to step up now, we'll take names and get this ball rolling.
Any engineers? Live volunteers.
Full corner.
Here's one of the volunteers.
Sonia,
I can do it.
Sonia Dodson.
I can you guys go down.
So where? Yeah.
I was writing this other thing down about.
Anybody else
Yes, sir.
volunteer?
Speaking of the marina, you need to look at the electrical. Somebody's going to get injured or killed the way those wires are laying all around.
Okay.
It's a dangerous situation.
Did you want to volunteer then to help on the committee?
Absolutely not.
Thank you for your input, sir.
Yes, thank you.
LW, you got that one? Look at the electric. Thank you.
So we have 2 volunteers.
We'll see if we can,
See if you can garner some more.
yeah.
Talk to your friends.
Tell your friends. All right, the next thing is the sore spot of the cable. I'm sure a lot of people are aware, maybe you're not, that our contract with Comcast expires next March.
May.
May. March, May. Okay, May.
We gotta-
Starts with an M.
LW's put a lot of time and effort into finding alternatives. However, we thought maybe we could get another small group of dedicated owners to maybe come up with some suggestions for not necessarily something different than Comcast, but just some other options and what it would entail to have to do these. I'm not saying that Comcast is not who we're gonna go with. I'm not saying anything right now. We're just trying to get, my thing is that I don't wanna sit up here and tell you what we're gonna do. I don't wanna sit up here and tell you how we're gonna do it, and I don't think it's my job to sit up here and tell you when we're gonna do it. I think it's our job, we're all owners, that we should all be involved together in this, in here, and make it the best place possible. So I'm trying to get more people involved to help with what we have going on in this park, whether it's the marina to make it more friendly, whether it's the cable to have it better. A lot of people leave in the wintertime. Is there an option that they don't have to pay for something in the wintertime when they're not here? Or in the summertime? You know, I mean, I don't know, but that's what we're looking for. You know, I'm here, I come here year round, so yeah, I want my internet year round. But some people that leave for the summertime, you know, is there a service that we can get that when you leave, you put it on vacation and you pay $5 a month or $10 a month instead of $50 a month? I don't know. I'm sure they do. But that's why I'm saying, if we could get a group of people together to get all these, to look at this stuff, and this one really, there is no great timeline because it doesn't expire until May with Comcast. Joel, I'll get to you in a second. So, but if we get a couple people together and they can kind of come up with, you know, well, there's this company and it would entail, you know, wiring the whole park, but this is what they would offer, and they would do the wiring for free, and it would cost everybody this much money a month, blah, 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 blah. I understand that it's all, you know, that the tricky part will probably be with the homeowners association, because it is included in your homeowners association that you get free cable. I got that. So maybe that might have to be tweaked, adjusted, changed, I don't know. But here we have over a year to maybe get something that's a little bit better. I personally think that the free cable that we get from Comcast is horrible. That's my opinion, but I'm stuck with it. I do have the Wi-Fi, I pay for it myself, but that's my choice. You know, is there a company that would give us Wi-Fi and cable for the same price or a couple bucks more? I don't know, but anyway, that's kind of where I think we should go with this. So if anybody wants to step up now, we'll take your name and we'll send out some more information. Joel, you patiently waiting, go ahead.
Years ago, you had your choice on the lot if you wanted cable or not. And when you got cable, you signed an agreement stating that you would not cancel it. Well, we had a manager 2000, 2001 in that area that decided everybody was going to pay for cable, whether they wanted it or not, or needed it or not. And the state law, unless they change the state condominium laws, that says once you have cable, you can't get rid of it for any person unless they're deaf.
You're right.
So I don't think you, other than finding another company, of course, you can do
Chris.
anything.
Joel, you are correct. The Florida rule is that once you offer that as part of your maintenance, it stays. It always has to stay. But what we're looking for is, you know, Comcast is coming up. They go up on us every year. What we need is somebody to do some research and see. It doesn't have to be cable, by the way. It can be, we can supply everybody with a dish or something. We don't want to do that, but I'm just saying that you have to offer that television service. Okay. Now, what we need is some leverage with Comcast, is what we need. We
I
need
think
something
pulling our
comparable that we can say, well, hey, we can go with them and get this, this, and this, and maybe they won't go up so high on us. I don't think they want to lose us anymore and we want to lose them. We're a big contract. Of course, they're huge. You know, they're not going to miss our $300,000 a year that we pay them, or close to it. but I don't think that they will want to lose us. So, you know, if we can use something for negotiation, that would be great.
Where I live, when I go home, when I'm down here in the winter, I have dish netting, so I live on, I have to put it on vacation. When I go home, they've raised it. They, no matter, they tell you can put it on vacation, but they will raise the price. You know, just to get the 120 package or whatever, they'll always rent it, or raise the price. But like Paula said, my son-in-law, he always gets a new cable bill, and he calls up Dish, and he tells them, okay, I guess I've been a customer for 20 years, I guess I'm gonna have to drop it. Then they start talking, okay, we can give you such and such.
Yep.
So you might wanna say that. You know, so talk to them and tell them, hey, we're looking at other people. You know, we're trying to get the best deal for our people as we can, and that might go.
We gotta have some leverage.
Right. And that's what.
We need to throw in that we need like a permanent contact too.
Yes.
True. I've been telling LW he needs to set us up an appointment. A couple board members and him will go take the Comcast person out to lunch, whoever our contact is, and start negotiating. That's how you work contracts. You know, we are big. We are, because everything else he keeps checking into keeps panning out as it's not gonna work right.
You know, I'm sorry, you know they have Netflix and Hulu and.
Got all that.
those things. Well, hey, I'm old. I don't get Netflix, Hulu and all that stuff. But other people can, young people can. But older people, they want something you can turn on and watch. They don't want to have to go 14 different remotes. So that is a good idea.
Got one more. over
Yeah, and Netflix just raised their prices.
Right.
So I mean, no matter any of these services, you get with them and they raise their prices. It's all the same.
It was-
Monopoly.
They give you, if you're a new customer, they give you the greatest deal there is.
Yeah.
But wait till the next year, when that comes up, forget it.
Yeah.
But if you're an old customer, they-
Well, just, everybody knows that cable is stable. We start dealing with dishes,
right,
I'm not a big fan. The other thing is on your internet, every year, before your contract comes up, you have to call in to Comcast, Xfinity, and negotiate, because they have promotions. But it has to be done within the 30 days to your new sign up. So just keep that in mind. I have a little calendar because I just dealt with them, and they did Zoom me, but I cried enough and I was loud and I was the greasy wheel and I got a good deal on my internet and I got 100 meg over 10. So they are a strong armor, there's no doubt.
One of the greatest assets we have is that there's a lot of other RV parks in the area. Are we communicating with these people to see what kind of contracts that they have? We can do some comparisons with. See what
That
makes
would-
the worst one going.
That would be nice if that's this group that we have that volunteers, they could do that. They have the time, hopefully, they can like check into that. That's why we kind of want the group that would be able to help with that. Does that make sense?
Yes.
And it's a shame that Atlantic Broadband, or somebody checked on them already. They are from Jersey, New Jersey, and they are coming down here. And they're doing a great job. They're just not out in Okeechobee yet. And I had them in West Palm, and they went ahead and dug up the whole development and put in new fiber, and they charged us $35 for the internet. The cable was included, the television. But the internet was only 35. That's something we could still look around for, but I don't know who else is available.
But we do
Right.
need volunteers to sign up to do some of this research, because LW is already stretched to the limit.
Just a couple things happened this week that I haven't been able to, transfer to the board yet. In fact, this morning, I contacted, through our, whatever book we have that anyway, management for condominiums. There's this company called Convergent, and what they do is they try to, they come in and like a consulting firm and try to get the best deal for TV for communities. Just this morning, she contacted me, and I believe the date is February 27th. She will be here at 11 o'clock. So anybody that wants to come and listen to her, what she may be able to tell us. And then also, I had Comcast call either last week or this week, Dante, who's our business representative, and they basically want their answer by May of this year, May of 2022. So we just got about 2 months to, well, I guess it's 3 months.
Have they presented us with a contract?
Pardon?
Have they presented us with a new contract?
No, they haven't given me any
Well,
numbers.
then it's on them, not us.
Yeah,
Why
well,
would they
that's,
want a year's notice?
we need to talk to them.
Wow.
So that's, I hadn't got a chance to get back with him, and then with this, but this gal will be here next week. I think it's the 27th. So anybody wants to be in, like, board member being
When
on,
is that?
February what? 27th.
I believe it's the 27th at 11 o'clock.
Here in the clubhouse.
Well, it depends on how many people. If there's a bigger group of people, yeah, we'll come to the clubhouse. If it's 5 or 6 people, we'll do it in conference room.
Can we have volunteers then? For people who want to help with this committee. Okay, Mark?
Elmer?
No, Mark.
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 I can't see. Okay, Mark. Yeah.
Contract, is it for, when you contract it, is it for everyone in the park, or can they not take it?
No,
and
it's,
say it runs?
it's 686 units.
Yeah.
Every unit has hookup to cable and has basic cable.
So there's
And
nothing,
whether there's anybody on that lot or not, we pay $35 a month for that lot.
and there's nothing where you can only guarantee so many instead of the entire park. I mean, like, we have it, but we don't use it. I mean, we're paying for it. It's just that, could we save it, the money for the park itself? And
Yeah,
so we
that's-
guarantee 682, could we do 500, that we guarantee that we're gonna take it?
Well, see, that was in the negotiation when they started this current contract. That's something that needs to be brought up in the new negotiations. That's something that would have to be done in this new contract,
But
because,
it's not in this contract.
no,
Not addressed.
no. Well, I mean, that was part of their negotiation. Yeah.
How long?
Joel just made it clear.
It was
that
10
has to
years.
be provided.
Okay.
I did a little bit of research into this communication. Now, everybody adds up all the communications, cell phones, home phones, TV, internet, whatever. You're gonna spend about $3,000 or $4,000 a year on that. Everybody is within that realm. So when we negotiated the contract with Comcast, we found that this is a bulk rate of 668 units. That's how we got the price that we did. Other than that, we need less units, the higher cost. So that's kind of, no
Yeah.
deal. Gotta have a bulk rate cost. Comcast in South Florida and throughout Florida primarily has the highest speed, most dependable broadband service in Florida. 1,250 megabytes per second. That's the fastest you can get. Now, there are other broadband services coming down the coast, like George was saying, that service is available, but it's not here. We're out in the cattle country here. So, you know, we're a little bit slow, but things are happening in town.
Speak for yourself.
I see cattle everywhere.
We're gonna need to just, see if we can get more than just Marvin to sign up for this. Marvin.
Lynn, do you want to sign up for this then?
I got my plate full right now.
Okay. Let's
But
sit
I'm
down.
helping, and I've looked into research into grants, and so
Maybe they need that.
I think that somebody else I know that has done some research is hitting on the same thing that you're talking about, is getting a negotiator to deal with the communication companies, because we know some of these guys just buy islands in Hawaii. They, you know, they got a lot of money,
Let me get one thing in, Chris. All right, so here we go. Got me? All right, you can hear me. All right, so LW on the consulting group, a light bulb went off when you said that. I know a fella, broadband consulting group up in Orlando. That's what he does. I know him personally. I can make a phone call to him, John Russo, and I'll do that. I'll call him and see, just feel him out, tell him we'd have the bulk rate, and we'll just take it from there. He's the president and the founder of the company.
Do you want to be on that committee then?
I will make the effort to call John Russo. Yeah, well, I'll make one phone call and just feel him out on it and tell him, as Lynn just said, we have the bulk rate. We know it's stable. Keep in mind that the internet is the internet. And everybody feeds off of everybody when it comes to the backbone of the infrastructure. So will call John and feel him out on that, just to see if he feels that we can get a better rate, and let him talk to us. Okay.
Okay.
Is he a volunteer?
What is the bulk rate per trailer for Comcast without internet, just for the television, and then for the internet is whatever you get.
Right.
Separate.
What is it per trailer?
It's $35 a
That's
month.
really cheap, I'm telling you. That's cheap. They don't have it where I'm from. I mean, that's reason.
Exactly less than that, but.
Marlene, it's cheap if you're using it.
Yeah.
It's not cheap if it's on an empty lot that's not being used, or if it's only being used 3 months a year.
Right.
12 months. But you're paying 35 for a lot of months that you're not getting any service.
It seems like they can flip a little switch
That's all it is.
and turn on that light.
Yeah, but again, our maintenance fees here are,
Then you won't.
our combined maintenance fees are, I think they're quite reasonable.
Yeah.
I think if you look around in the area, I mean, obviously if you go on the coast, what are they paying a month for maintenance? 1,200, 1,000 for a 175, 173 a month. I mean,
So we have Marv then, who's willing to do it. Anybody else willing to help, Marv? Okay. What's your name?
Hey.
Okay. Okay, what?
Hey, Durbin.
Durbin. Okay,
Durbin.
thank you, Kay.
LW, didn't Luann DeVries at one point in time say that she might be interested in being on a committee for Comcast?
Luann.
Luann DeVries, my neighbor, just 2 doors this way.
Debris.
I don't
Well-
remember.
Okay, I'll ask her.
Yeah, and you can let us know.
Okay.
Thank you, Eileen. All right, next.
anybody else want to say something on that?
We're currently not fiber optic, correct?
Correct.
For cable.
Our main feed in here is on the Comcast backbone, which is still regular cable.
two of the companies said that they would bring fiber optic in, but I'm not so certain that they've actually done their homework. But one company told me it'd be too expensive to bring it here, because the fiber is not close to us. So,
All right, anybody else? All right, next one is security. I know we have some very security-minded people in this park. I'm looking for a couple of people to get together and do a site survey. I know people are concerned about the security in the park, as we all should be. We just got some nice new bright lights at the front. Hopefully that'll help a little bit. But we're looking, I think LW's done a lot of work on this. And again, you know, I'm not trying to take it away from LW, but I'm trying to put it in the hands of the owners a little bit to help him maybe do like a site survey and suggest where we could put some cameras, what kind of cameras, whether they're hardwired, Wi-Fi or whatever. I'm not smart on that kind of stuff. That's why I still have a stick and a bat by my door, because that's what you're gonna get if you come in my house. Well, you might get it down to you. I shouldn't say that. So anyway, you know, I don't want to keep beating these things down around and making everybody sit here longer than we have to. So think about, if you know anybody, any of your neighbors, or high-speed security camera guys, maybe they can talk to LW and put together a little site survey and come up with some suggestions. Anybody?
That's one thing that we haven't actually mentioned yet. All of this is part of LW's purview. So he would be actually, you know, he would be your contact for all these committees. Whatever you come up with, you're still gonna have to run it through him. Because it is his, that's, you know, it's part of his job. But there are a lot of things coming up that need to be looked at, and he's only one man. So what we're asking you to do is actually help him. Just be help to LW on these issues.
Anybody got suggestions
Does that
for
make
cloning?
sense?
Make sense? We need a budget, so that, because the cameras are all different sizes, different heights, different.
Lynn, we have a budget, okay? We have, well, that depends on what you come up with. You can't be crazy about it. He knows what the budget is for all of these things, okay? Everybody has to stay within that. You know, we're not gonna say, okay, here you go, $200,000, go out there and get us the best security you can. That's not the way it
If
works.
that's the case, we're getting a
You have
gate
to
guard.
stay within the budget you have. And everybody will know what that budget is.
Well, and it depends on the options too. You know, you got to come with a couple of different options. You know, we found these cameras and it would take this to set it up, and here's the cost. And then we have these other cameras that are similar, but it would take a little more to set them up because they're hardwired versus battery operated, and it would cost this much. So you got to come up with a couple of different options, and then you weigh out the options. And if, you know, one stands out above the rest and it's $200 more or $500 more, but that's obviously the better option that fits our need, then I think we'd be willing to spend the little bit of money more for a better system. But you can't just come up with one option and go, here's your security, that's $25,000. I mean, that, in this day and age, you know, things are changing so fast that tomorrow that technology is old and you got to go with something else. Anyway, okay.
Moving on.
Okie dokie. The fun part of the meeting is the violations for the hearing committee. LW, she is correct, yes?
Yeah.
We had 10 violations. All of these violations have been sent letters. And they're at our doorstep now. So our job now is to discuss it, get feedback from you kind people on what you think we should fine these people and send it to the hearing committee. Now, again, we're not fining anybody. We're merely suggesting what the fine should be, and then it goes to the hearing committee and they make the decision. The people that were sent the letter get the opportunity to present themselves at the hearing committee meeting to plead their case or to say, I have it, it's been fixed. And then the hearing committee can say, okay, well, you fixed it or you took care of it. Okay, thank you very much. Have a wonderful day. So we'll go through the list. The first one is Miss Otis. Do you want the address? Not really? Okay. Her violation is peaceful possession. A guest of hers was very disruptive and argumentative. I don't know how much, do you want me to read you the letter so you know?
Sure.
Okay. These are all written from LW. On the morning of January 14th, 2022, your guest, Daniel Garland, was walking the streets of the park and asking people if they had seen his electric bike that a friend had taken for a test ride and not returned. His actions had those residents concerned, and several went on to the office, asking LW, the park manager, to check into. He found Daniel on 54th Lane. When he was approached to ask him what he was doing, Daniel got very belligerent and vocal. He started yelling and cursing at LW and reached out to knock his hat off of his head. His yelling and cursing woke up several of the residents in the area, and others came out of their houses to see what the commotion was about. His actions resulted in the sheriff being called. While charges were not pressed with the sheriff, nevertheless, his actions are in violation of our rules. The rule that he broke is listed below, and as he was your guest, you are responsible for his actions. The matter will be referred to the board of directors of the association, and they have the authority to assess a one-time fine for an ongoing daily fine until compliance is achieved and/or suspend your use of the recreational facilities, which can include but are not limited to the use of the marina and storage area. That's that one. Any suggestions? No fine? Fine? Warning? Okay, we can go up to $100. Okay.
Absolutely.
Well, not only that, he has done several things in this park. That was not his only thing. He's done several. So it should be $100.
Mrs. Getter?
Was this already addressed last time? Was she gonna be behind?
Okay. The last time we weren't, and the board is gonna eat this one because we weren't prepared fully.
Okay.
So some of these are going to be repeat from the last meeting because we didn't have our paperwork all in order.
Oh, okay.
So I apologize for these being repeats. Thank you for bringing that up. We'll take the hit on that one. We had to, no, I just want to explain that we're going to eat a little crow here. Thank you. Okay, the next up is another one with Mr. Melton, peaceful possession. This one, I think we should just push off because the house is for sale. Correct?
He's moved out.
He's gone.
He has been, what happened was he bought this house and his son was living in it, and the son was not of age.
48.
And he was a nuisance to the neighbors. So the son has been moved out and denied access to the park, and the property is currently for sale. So I say we deflect this one as it's pretty much been solved. Okay, the next one is, and I apologize, Mr. Leo, if I slaughter your name, Naroditsky. Did I say that right? Okay, his letter is about weeds, potted plants in the carport, items stored on the carport, and in disarray, windows that have blinds hung in a haphazard array and not hiding the inside items from view. This has kind of been an ongoing problem. LW, do you have anything to say about this one?
Additional, no.
The question?
Can I say something?
Well, this is not the
Sure,
hearing.
go ahead, Mr. Leo.
You can stay
I
here.
have a long relationship with LW. About 8 months ago, he sent me a letter, I should repaint my roof because some spots. I told him, what about this second home on the left side, second home on the right side? I will send them letter. After he told me I supposed to cut bush on back. I walk with him, I said, what about these bushes? What about these bushes? I will send them letter. He told me I will charge you $100 a day if you will not cut. I cut this beautiful bush with beautiful flowers, and now I have ugly bush, and I think I need to remove this bush. I walk, once, I was in swimming pool. He came with worker, spray something around me. Later I've been told this is to find out if I pee in the swimming pool. Nothing come out. If it's come out, I could kill myself. And I'm sure it was done once in 40 years. No, but never done before. He tried to destroy my life completely. Now, I'm supposed to put some small additional on the roof. He told me I need permission from department. I came to them, they told, what permission? Oh, I know. They called one guy who already knew everything. He told me, I supposed to come first time to look. Second time when you do have job. Third time when you finish. I have people who supposed to do this in 6 hours, small 10 room, under roof, concrete, only 3 walls. They told me, we will charge double price, we will work double. So I asked, I can't do this, I can't pay double. And these people, he told me he will charge $350 each visit, $1,050 to come and look what needs to be done, it's not their business. After I did something, I tried to put fence, plastic 4 feet with holes, and you can see through if you want, but can be some privacy, I can put table, chairs. I put already fence. He came and he told, I know you can put outside wall, but I'm not sure if you put these 2 walls inside. You better remove. He never answered, I never got his privacy, I never have something to put. He destroyed completely my life. He destroyed, in 5 days I will be 81 years old. I can swim in swimming pool. In my mind, he will come with his own urine spread in a swimming pool and check and accuse me. I can even, and I can do without swimming pool. He sent me now a letter. If I will be found guilty, what I didn't completely clean. On the window, I'm supposed to put same color shades. I have this white and this not white. I remove shades. Half of these buildings without shades. So if I will find guilty, I will be not allowed to use swimming pool. I can't survive without swimming pool. I swim every morning 1 hour. I don't need to live it anymore without swimming pool. So would you please somehow look at all this? I will ask George to stop if he can after this meeting or any time, and I will show you windows. Now he accused I have some seed, something grow. It's very clean, nothing around. And my front, even without protection, it's clean. Windows, I don't have shades now. I throw them away. Have what he likes color, I left, another have. So across me next house, they don't have shades. I'm afraid he will come and tell me I need shades. So would you please, George, I need my anytime
We-
you can come.
okay.
The reason I ask you because reference talk in swimming pool few times.
Yes, sir. All right, so what we'll do is I'll come by
Okay,
and LW is gonna come by too.
thank
But this
you.
is for the hearing committee. Remember that Lynn heads up the committee for the hearing, but we'll make advancement to come over and survey it again and take a look. Is that all right there, LW? Did I say that?
I tell you.
Is that all right? Did I say that again? We'll come by.
You can come by, yeah.
I mean,
I
and then it has to go to the hearing committee though.
Yeah, I
It'll
tell
have to
attorney-
go,
I tell attorney Schneider Law, and I thought already, to me, it sounds like racial discrimination. Something wrong, he destroyed my life for 1 year.
Mr.
And I
Leo,
can't live anymore.
Mr. Leo,
Would you please anytime?
Mr. Leo, no one in this park is trying to destroy your life.
No?
No
there's
one
camera.
in this park is
Camera.
no one in this park is trying to deny you to use the pool. No one is trying
It's
to
a
racially
letter.
discriminate
It's a letter.
against you.
If you-
The thing
if you
is,
find
Mr.
me
Leo,
guilty,
is that we have
I'm
rules that we have to follow. And these, again, are not Don's rules. These are the rules that we, as the board, were given, and we have to follow the rules. And yes, some of them seem old, and some of them seem unfair. I'm not gonna disagree with you, but we're not discriminating personally. LW is not, he doesn't have on his wall to go get Mr. Leo every morning. That's not his goal. His job is to oversee that everybody in the park is complying to what is in the rules.
What about
Excuse me.
roof, paint my roof? Only me, not nobody
No,
else.
not only you, I had to paint my roof, but I did it on my own before it got bad, because I knew that in the rule it needed to be done. So we need to get you a copy of the rules so that you're familiar with the rules and you know what can and can't be done. Maybe that's the problem. Maybe that's the problem with quite a few people that are newer, and I know you're not newer here, but people need to have the rules so they know.
It's in your rule, spread and find out if I pee in swimming pool once in 40 years, done to me, only to me.
So I can't say that was done.
It's he did. He came with worker and what he did.
Okay. Do you have proof that LW sprayed something in the pool to make it look like you peed in the pool?
Yeah, I have roof. This guy who work on back, he came and he sprayed this him. And I'm sure you can find out he didn't bought for cat the spray. He ordered it by check. And you can look at what was sprayed.
Can you sit down, please? I have something to say.
It's okay.
Thank you.
George, would you please, I'd like to see that.
please.
Okay, I'm sorry, I was not thinking to take any conversation, but it's a little bit upsetting. In 2 months, we'll be 59 years be together. Okay, and I'd like to have a birthday party and an anniversary party with all of us. But when we start talking about LW, it's making me feel like I have to say something. And I don't want to have a conversation with Leo and said, not anymore marriage, it's like a roommate. Morning time, LW, evening time, LW. Now, LW. I'm the witness. I don't talk to W about Leo's conversation. But once I have the camera in front of me in the sauna, and I said, you need my picture? And he said, you wash your hair with the shampoo. I said, pardon me? Then he comes back and he said, the guy that did not use the right spray. LW is here. He is the one who told me. The people who's at the swimming pool said, he was talking to you not nice. He wants to be the Christian and the right one, even in the internet. I said, I don't want to hear any information. Is something wrong? Then he talked to me something. I said, you talking to me? And he said, yes. Anyway, the people said he has his own health problem and maybe he was not able to hear me. But I'm here now just to listen what's going on and just to know what's going on around. Not to have my husband in the hospital after when double knocked at my door. I was sleeping. Later on, I find out, like Leah take his pulse and he was feeling bad. I paid $90 to the hospital for the emergency room. Not because he's sick, but it's happened. Whatever bothered him, he's a wrestler before, very strong man. And I don't have to talk about ourselves. We bought the place, we like the place. We try to talk to our relatives to come and buy something, but we can say nothing bad about the property, not about the rules we like to follow, but it has to be education. Some nicely, even in the paper, we do understand. We try, like you said, we did it, whatever. We plan to have brand new shades, we plan to have, but money, nobody give me whatever, it's safe. I never saw Katie, and I said Katie is the best woman. Now I keep talking about, I can't fight after LW because the wife working here. And somebody said, we don't know if family can work in one place and do the same. I said, don't talk to me this way. I like to explain myself what I have to do. Is this conversation have to be aggravation forever from 2022 now, from the beginning of this year? I'm telling you, I'm a Holocaust survivor. I'm old enough to follow the rules, but the way how it was acting, it's make you feel like you have to have somebody.
Okay, so like Don said, we're gonna get you the rules. If you don't have them, come explain it. I mean, it will be two people. I think that'll be fair.
Yeah.
And talk about it and see where we're at. Disregard what your neighbors are doing because everybody's under the same umbrella. So let's not, we're just gonna talk about your situation, and
Two people in our son try to take care around. I don't want any more in my house, not any meetings. I appreciate what he's doing, John. He did a great job. He needs to have this job. He have to make a living. Maybe he will be retired to 23, and nobody will talk about him. Somebody else will come to follow the rules. But please, I don't want to call you tomorrow. Not anymore marriages will be a roommate because I don't have enough stage to listen to this. And I have 3 bills for the emergency after the conversation.
okay, so what we need to do is get you the rules highlighted.
George, they have gotten the rules every time. They've gotten a set of the rules, and every time I sent a letter, I included the rules that they were violating.
Wait, hold on.
But you sent letter.
Wait a minute.
You sent the letter to all neighbors? You said.
Wait, hold on a second here. This is not the hearing committee,
That's right.
so let us, he's giving you the rules. He said he's giving them to you. He's pointed out, hold on. So what we need to do is, we're probably gonna end up.
Chris, can you put me live?
Yep, and then we'll, because it's gonna have to go to the hearing committee. We're only here to assess.
Sir, the board today was here to decide whether to assess you a fine. You will get a letter from the hearing committee telling you that you can appear in front of them, and then that's when you plead your case like you're trying to plead your case to us right now, okay? That's the procedure. The hearing committee will then vote. They will listen to your case. They will then vote, dismiss you and vote and decide whether they're going to uphold the fine that the board puts on you. So LW says he's gave you the rules. He's tried to come and work with you. I know there's some others on the list that he's worked with. He hasn't even been able to get throughout the whole park and find things that are in violation because he constantly has to keep going back to a few homeowners. And so the president and the board has tasked him with getting these things resolved. He's tried to give homeowners in here avenues to get their homes fixed and up to par, even with the park helping you do the maintenance of flowers or whatever, and then them charging you a fee, the park charging you a fee. So thank you for your time and us listening to you today. Expect a letter from the hearing committee, and they will give you a time and date for you to come and plead your case and decide whether to uphold the fine or not, if you're given a fine today. So now we need to vote on a fine. Thank you.
Can I have one more minute for 30 seconds?
No.
Okay, anybody have any suggestions for a fine?
Leave it to the hearing committee.
Well, we have to, we're supposed to suggest the fine, the hearing committee says yay or nay. All right, we'll do 25.
All those in favor?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, the next one is, Miss Bras Tech. She has no skirting on her fifth wheel. The note I have is that she has removed it for a week and then is gonna bring it back. So, we really have no recourse on this because if it hasn't been more than 7 months, we can't force a fine on her. So that one is kind of closed. We'll keep an eye on her for the 7-month rule. All in favor?
Aye.
The next one is I've got one thrown in at me. It's not on my list. Is the Miss Sarah Hatfield. She has no skirting as well. LW called and she's contacting a handyman. This letter was sent to her on February 3rd as well. Here we are 14 days later, which is what was stated in the letter, 14 days and no action. Suggests a fine of $50. Anybody else? Yes, ma'am.
Has she lived here a long time?
I can't tell you.
Because they're supposed to have a year, aren't they?
No, it's 7 months. When it comes to a fifth wheel or a trailer, once it's permanent, it's considered permanent at 7 months. It needs to be secured to the concrete and skirted. No, it's 7 months.
Has she lived here that long?
I don't know that for sure.
If he sent her a letter about it, she's been here that long.
Because otherwise, I don't think she should be fined.
No, she
Well,
wouldn't be. Yes.
well, technically, we're actually being lenient because in the rules it says 5 days. But we've given 14 days. Now, I have to go by what has or hasn't been done at this point. Yes, ma'am.
Do you know for sure that she contacted someone, maybe they got a cane?
I don't know that for sure, but you see, if she has a handyman who's gonna come, even if it's tomorrow, and he comes and does it, then she goes to the hearing committee and she says, I had it done, here's my receipt, and the hearing committee says, okay, then you're good, no fine. I mean, if this stuff is corrected before the hearing committee, because the hearing committee is not gonna, I'm guessing that they're not gonna meet tomorrow, this is a process. So if something's if she said, it's halfway done, it'll be done in 2 days, then I would say, okay, well, she's working on it, we'll bypass that one. But we've given people the opportunity and they have no movement on it. I have one here, the next one is that this person, we'll get to that one, but this one hasn't been moved. So I'm gonna say $50, and if she gets it done in the time frame, then when she goes to the hearing committee, she just has to say, here's my letter, all of my stuff, here is my receipt from my handyman that it is completed and I paid for it. And then the hearing committee can say, okay, good job, thank you, and dismiss. So all in favor of $50?
Aye.
May I say something, Don?
Shoot.
We all absorb or incur costs. Every time one of these letters, an LW has to take time out of his schedule to address a violation. These letters, time, energy, computer paper, everything else adds up to a cost. And so anytime a violation is issued, it's been suggested to me that a minimum fine should be $25 to cover our costs. That comes out of our pocket. So I just want to say that before we start saying that, the fine just goes away, because there's already been a cost incurred. So I think we should consider that. Thank you.
Thanks, Lynn. Just to let you know too, if it gets up here to this board, that means LW has been to their house. He has followed up with an email. He's went back by. He's tried to beg people to fix their problems. And then finally, he sends this letter saying it's going to the board. So this isn't just, I wrote you up and it's going to the board today. This is long haul work that he's been working on, taking up his time, because he couldn't just go to that person and say, this needs fixed. I hung up a Trump flag one time back in the election time. He came to my door and he said, Sherry, it's illegal. You got to take it down. I took it down because he brought me the paperwork showing me the regulation. It's illegal. So that's why when it gets to this, everybody's being put through a bunch of more work because people don't want to listen to the park manager. Thank you. George, you're
All right.
the neighbor.
What?
The Stingers.
Yeah, that was good.
So we're good if you're on the Stingers.
Okay, the next one is the Castaners. They also have no skirting. The note I have, says that she has a renter on the lot. There longer than 7 months, he will skirt the fifth wheel. He works full-time and hopes to get it done before the 11 days. So I'm guessing that this one still has not been done.
Working
It's
on
not
it.
done yet, no.
Have you,
As far as I know, any of those that are here, in this last week, I haven't seen that it's been done.
okay,
But if they can prove it's done. it's a-
okay. $50, I suggest. All in favor?
Aye.
Next one up is the Robins, no skirting. This says they will be moving will attach when moved.
They bought us another lot and are gonna move their trailer and then we'll skirt it when they get on the other lot.
Any idea when they're moving it?
No, that's why the letters just, if they have it done by the time we get to the hearing committee, then it's moot, but till then,
Yeah, I was in the office when they came in and said that they were closing soon, and then they were gonna be moving their trailer over to their new lot and selling the old lot. So he didn't wanna skirt it and then have to move it and skirt it again. So, I don't know when that is supposed to be exactly, but that was what they were talking about then.
All right, well,
Obviously, it's been there all the time.
all right, okay. We'll refer this one for $50 then, and if they move it and skirt it, then if it's been there for this long, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, this next one is, I hope I don't,
Woolas,
slaughter the name,
Woolas,
Wolas?
Woolas.
Woolas. They are trailers crooked on the lot, not tied down, only partially skirted. The note I have is called back, said R2 approved what he had put up. I don't know who R2 is.
Probably.
Not complete, has become damaged. Oh, well, if it was Ron who did it, that was many moons ago. It's not complete since then. and it's damaged, I suggest a $75 fine on this one. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, and this one isn't on my list either, so.
Okay.
What's next?
That's the gazebo.
Okay, hold
The diamond.
on a second, I don't have a letter for that one. I have the email traffic. I have the email traffic, I don't.
Well, it can be done through.
Yeah. This gentleman, how do you say it, you know,
Yeah.
Munier, has a dining tent on his lot. And I know LW's gone back and forth with him. It's a temporary, it's one of those gazebo thingy type things that's just on his lot. And the rule states, no tents and no temporary buildings or structures shall be erected without the written consent of the condominium association. So that's why this gentleman got this letter, and he refuses to take it down. And so, I think we should refer this one with a $100 fine.
LW, excuse me, Don, did he respond to you?
With the emails, yes.
He did, okay,
Yeah.
just making sure.
Yeah, I have the response here.
Okay. We're gonna have to hear it.
I second $100 fine.
All in favor?
Aye.
Next one is Miss Reich. Let's see, weeds, fabric, plants, pots not neat, drainage pipes not buried, peaceful possession letter was sent, but returned because of the bad address, resent. Had several conversations regarding the problems dating back to last year. This has been a constant problem with Miss Reich. LW's been fighting with her. I know I had a conversation with her, her neighbor, who said at one point she had a pile of mulch and bags of dirt actually blocking her property, so she couldn't even walk around the side of her house because she had no access. I know several people have tried to help her in the past to get her house in order, and it's still kind of the same. So I think we should just refer this for $100.
I
All in
second that.
favor?
Aye.
Now, I have one that's not on my list. I guess it's for no skirting. It's the stalkers. It's a unit on the lot for more than 7 months, must be skirted. You also have a window with black plastic tape over it, needs to be repaired properly. 14 days, we did that. Today's the 17th, this was on the 3rd. Because this one's not on the list, but we do have the letter, I'm gonna refer it for $50, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
That's the last of that, aren't you happy now?
What about the Smiths? I'm forgetting.
We got
I must not have.
Robert.
Oh,
Mr. Smith.
I put that one off to the side, sorry. It wasn't on the list either. Okay, Mr. Smith. Mr. Smith has I'll just read it over. Let's see, he has numerous times has exhibited threatening actions towards his neighbors. He has made inappropriate and lewd comments to other female residents. On the 27th of January, he threatened to kill his neighbor, Mr. Wright. The sheriff was called and made a report. Again, on February 4th, another altercation happened, which again resulted in the sheriff being called to the residence. and the behavior cannot be tolerated. I know we have been in contact with his daughter. I don't know what or if anything has been done. I was also told apparently last night the sheriff was called another 3 times to Mr. Wright's residence. I don't know if a fine will do anything. However, we have to do something. And he likes to sit on his driveway with different types of weapons, knives, swords, and make threatening comments to his neighbor. And I know a couple of the neighbors in the surrounding area are not very comfortable with what's going on. So we have to do something. So we're gonna refer this one for $100. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, that's the last one. Okay,
Can I say one thing?
go ahead.
Just one.
John, can you record that last one for the attorney?
Yes, a letter will be following.
You'll post it.
Those people that were on that list will get a letter from the hearing committee with when the next hearing committee will be meeting, and they can present themselves with their evidence, and we'll let the hearing committee do their job. All right. We have a problem with people parking against the rules in the marina overnight and in the clubhouse parking lot overnight. Yes, you can get a temporary pass from the park manager to park there. It does say that if you have guests and you don't have parking for them, you have to provide a parking area for them, and it's not the clubhouse overnight and it's not the marina overnight. However, we have a bright spot. We got rid of that crappy old RV in the back by the compactor, and we have a little bit of space back there. So I suggested to LW that we can use that open area for temporary parking for people with small trailers, or a weekend, if you have a guest or friends comes in with a boat and you need a place to park it, you can talk to LW and make arrangements to use that area in the back. I would say it would fit at least 4, 5 cars comfortably, maybe a couple of small trailers, but we do have that area now available to us to use. So please try not to park at the marina overnight because you can be towed. Please don't park in the clubhouse overnight because you can be towed. We have a lot of people here with very kind hearts that have probably more space in their driveway than they know what to do with. So get to know your neighbors and say, hey, I got a friend coming in for a week. If you're not going to be here, can I park my car in your driveway? Because I'm sure that they would hook you up. Just ask my neighbor Joyce.
Does it have a time limit on that? So they can park in the back?
Yeah, I mean, probably, 2 days, I mean, a visitor type thing. It's not a long-term, hey, can I park my boat back there for 2 weeks? No, that ain't gonna cut it.
No.
But, a night or two, what do you think, LW, 48 hours?
I think so, yeah. I think 48 hours.
48
I
hours.
think 48 hours is sufficient. Because you know what's gonna happen. Start pushing.
All righty. And of course, you need to clear that with LW so he knows that it's there.
Yeah.
Please. Next up is the suggestion box.
The only thing I had in the suggestion box was from someone, they didn't sign it, but it said that they felt our artisan show should be open to the public and also the carport sales. We have in our rules and regulations that we are not allowed to sell to anybody outside the park. So that would not allow people to come in and go through the park. So at this point, that is something that will not happen. unless somebody feels like they need to change that rule and regulations, all that, that's not gonna happen. So that's it. The only thing I had.
All right. Manager's report.
Did you just say magic? I think you said magic.
A lot of things have already been covered, so it's just, it's hard to believe that we are here at the halfway point of what we call season here in Florida. I know that almost everyone is having a great time here, and I'm not wanting to take up too much of your time today, so I just want to express my appreciation to everyone that makes the extra effort to help others out and make Oaks a great place. Be kind and have patience. Understand that living in a condominium, there is a lot of rules. Some of them seem onerous, but they are here to protect the community, you, and your property values. May God richly bless you and all that you endeavor to do. Be safe, live long, and prosper.
I can.
Send it all now,
We'll put it over there.
because a lot of people were complaining about it.
Mr. Lane, do you have a hearing committee report today?
I don't think so.
Not at this point.
Okey dokey. Social committee, do we have anyone from the social committee to report any good news or bad news?
We're gonna be meeting next Tuesday at 12 o'clock. Everybody's welcome.
Okay, thank you.
Jeff
2 o'clock?
Gordon's gonna be here on Saturday.
The race car driver?
Oh, you got the race car driver? Well, if you wanna have. But that's, Saturday night at
7, I think.
7 o'clock. 7 o'clock. You're still taking the available, everybody.
All right,
Thank you, Pam.
thank you, Pam. Old business. All right, we talked about this last time, I think, and we're gonna talk about it a little bit again to get thoughts and who wants to do this. The AED device for the clubhouse.
What's that?
Okay.
That, I'll let Miss Joyce, who has more medical background than this fella does, talk about it.
So we talked about having an AED here, and what that is, it's an automatic defibrillator. So if somebody falls down, they're not talking, they're not breathing well, you don't know what's going on with them, you would pull this off the wall, somebody who's trained, and tells you where to put 2 pads. I think it's one in the front and one on the side, and that's it. And it looks at the rhythm of that heart of that patient, or that person, sorry, and that then tells it whether that person has a rhythm that maybe if you give it a shock, and it does that, it'll bring it back into a regular rhythm. It's known to save a lot of lives. So I did check into all that, and so I went up to the EMS, and they told me the type of AED they use. It's gonna cost about $1,800. It automatically, again, evaluates that patient or that person to see what that rhythm is. If the rhythm is something that we can't do anything about, or that machine can't do anything about, it's just gonna monitor that heart until the EMS get here. So it's kind of a quick way to help save your life, hopefully. There is some things that you have to worry about. If you're gonna go up to that patient or that person and put those pads on their body and you're doing it because you wanna hurt them, you could be sued. If you're doing it because, say, they say to you, no, I don't want this on my chest, and you do it anyways, you're gonna get sued. But as long as we're doing it so that we know that we're gonna try to help this person save their life, we have it's called the Good Samaritan Law. And they said that should cover everything. So the EMS is willing to come down to us and train us. We've checked with our insurance company, and they said as long as people who use it have been trained, we shouldn't have any problems with the insurance that way. So what we're questioning is that something that you guys want to have here in the clubhouse. I don't think we're gonna take it outside of here and go to your house and do it. No, it's gonna be for in the clubhouse and maybe, I don't know, someplace else, but I mean, not far distance away. as far as that goes. It's just gonna be here, and we'd like to have people who are interested in learning how to be trained on it. It doesn't take very long. It's a really self-explanatory thing, and all you have to do, they'll say, shock, it'll come on, and when you look at the rhythm, it'll say shock advised, I think, shock advised. And you push a button and it shocks them. So it's not a lot of, you don't have to have a lot of knowledge, but it'd be nice to be trained on that. So just question if you guys are interested in that, and if anybody's interested in being trained. We could set up a class for that.
Teresa.
Okay, so is that something, can we get a show of hands of who thinks we should have the device?
Is that
Yeah, you probably could take it. I don't think it's attached to the wall. I think it's a battery.
Yeah, it is.
So you could take it to the pool. I
Pull
just
off
shouldn't,
and-
I don't think I'd throw it in the pool, but then again, from what Joyce has said, the EMS will come out here and give us a class on it. So if it's something that people think we should have, great, but then we also want people to come out for this. I'm sure it's a short class that they'll just go over. They even said, I believe they would be willing to give out certification cards. So, I mean, if that's something. So I think it's something we should have, just in case. It could save somebody's life. And if people are willing to come out for the training, even better, because you never know. You might be in the airport and see one of those, and then you can go, hey, I know what I'm doing. I got to come.
Mhm. They have them all over in the shopping centers, the airports, like you said, schools, hotels, restaurants.
Okay, so everyone looks like it's a good deal. Okay. Last thing is, does anybody know about the dreaded Marina House? No? Okay, never mind. No, we had a newer park model was placed up at the marina on that corner lot. And there was a lot of concern and complaints that they were out of code. It is being rectified. The county has come in and they are fixing it. So that was why we were bringing it up. That's it.
Just basically to let everybody know that it's being taken care of now. Some of you may not have even been down there, but we've had a lot of questions like how can they be that close to the road with their porch and this and that. Well, the county came in and saw it and they said, this can't happen. Well, they have enough room to pour some more concrete on their property where they're still in line with our rules and regulations and the county's rules and regulations, and they can move it to where it will be in compliance. So just so everybody knows, that house is going to be like it's supposed to be. And, so they don't have to move it out or take the porch off. I've heard all kinds of stuff, so.
So they're gonna shift it.
Okay, they're gonna shift it to where it's in there correctly, so it's just for your information, really.
Treating everybody fairly.
Yeah.
So one thing I have with the SAC committee, which meets on Tuesday at 12 noon, we're going to be talking about how to spend the money that we have accumulated, and it's going to be around $15,000. So if anybody has an interest in how we spend that money to help the park, that's what the whole thing is, help to beautify the park or help to improve the park, however we do that, please come to that meeting on Tuesday at 12 o'clock. We'll love to listen to you if you have ideas, whatever you want to do. But I just want to make sure everybody knew that.
Go fund me.
Huh?
Go fund me.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's all we have for you for today. I move that we adjourn the meeting.
I
the board
second.
meeting.
All in favor?
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you for coming. Have a blessed afternoon.
Thank you, Don.